Hello everyone, how are you all? Hope so everybody is fine. And in our today's class, we'll go through chapter number 15, that is some natural phenomena. Natural phenomena means the natural processes or the disasters that take place and that may also cause destructions like earthquake, volcanic eruptions, landslides and many other. As in class 7th, you read about winds, storms and cyclones. You learned that cyclones can cause a lot of damage to human life and property. You also learned that we can protect ourselves from these destructive phenomena to some extent. In this chapter, we shall discuss two other destructive natural phenomena. These are lightning and earthquakes. The sudden spark which we see in the sky during when clouds are there or it's raining, that is what lightning, and it is of a very high voltage. And what is earthquake? The sudden shaking of the earth, due to which a lot of damage is done to the property and humans, to the human life. That are what? Earthquakes. We shall also discuss what steps we can take to minimize destruction caused by these phenomena. So the very first we are going to talk about lightning. You might have seen sparks on an electric pole when wires come loose. Yeah, we can see at our homes also. Small spark. This phenomena is quite common when wind is blowing and shaking the wires. You might also have seen sparks when a plug is loose in its socket. Yeah, if it is the two wires, if we try to put in that holes of the board to get it electricity flowed in that, what happens when the switch is on and we put in the wires, we can see a sparking. Lightning is also an electric spark, but on a huge scale. Huge scale, why? Because it is having a very higher voltage of approximate, we can say 11,000 volt or more. In ancient times, people did not understand the cause of these sparks. They were therefore afraid of lightning and thought that the wrath of gods was visiting them. Now, of course, we can understand that lightning is caused by the accumulation of charges in the clouds. We need not to be afraid of lightning, but we have to take some precautions to protect ourselves from the deadly sparks. The sparks that the Greeks knew about. The ancient Greeks knew as early as 600 BC that when amber is a kind of resin, was rubbed with fur, it attracted light objects such as hair. You can also do this small activity at your home. You go near to your TV screen and take your hand near to it. What will happen? The hairs of your head or the hands, they will get stick to the screen. This is because of the charge so present there. You might have seen that when you take off woolen or polyester clothes, your hair stands or end. That is what I told you just now. If you take off these clothes in the dark, you even see a spark and hear a crackling sound. In 1972, Benjamin Franklin, an American scientist, showed that lightning and the spark from your clothes are essentially the same phenomena, but they have a very low voltage. However, it took 2000 years for this realization to occur. I wonder why they took so many years to realize the similarity. Scientific discoveries are a result of hard work by many people. It can sometimes take a long time. Yeah. We shall now study some properties of electric charges. We shall also see how they are related to the lightning in the sky. And here are some activities that you can perform, like charging by rubbing, and there's a table also. By reading this activity, you can understand some of the examples as we read in the above, that when you take your hand or the hairs near to any charged particle or near to your TV screen, what will happen? The hairs will get stick to that. Or when you remove your sweater, what happens? The charge is created between your body and the sweater, and you can see the sparks when you take your sweater off in the dark. So, when a plastic refill is rubbed with polythene, it acquires an electric charge that is small. Similarly, when a plastic comb is rubbed with dry hair, it acquires a small charge. These objects are called charged objects. In the process of charging, the refill and the plastic comb, polythene and hair also gets charged. Let us try to charge some other objects that are familiar to you. So there is a table. Collect the objects and the materials listed in the table 15.1. Try to charge each by rubbing with the materials mentioned in the table. Record your findings. You can add more items on the table. We are going to talk about types of charges and their interaction. Like the activities given here, you can do a small activity similar to that. You take a balloon, rub it at your hairs, at your head, it will get charged, and when you will take it near to the wall, it will get stick there only. This activity you can do at your home, and it's very easy to understand the interaction between the charges. And it is a convection to call the charge acquired by a glass rod when it is rubbed with silk as positive. Similar example. The other kind of charge is said to be negative. One is positive, from where the charge gets transmitted to other, that attains negative, and which is already charged, that has positive. It is observed that when a charged glass rod is brought near a charged plastic straw rubbed with polythene, there is attraction between the two. What do you think would be the kind of charge on the plastic straw? Your guess that the plastic straw would carry a negative charge is correct, because the charge which is getting transferred to the uncharged body, it will attain negative, and the body which is charged, it will have positive charge. And these are what electrostatic charges. The electrical charges generated by rubbing are static. They do not move by themselves. When charges move, they constitute an electric current, so termed as electricity. You have been reading about electric current since class 6th. The current in a circuit which makes a bulb glow, or the current that makes a wire hot, is nothing but a motion of charges. Like that, if your TV is running for a couple of hours, it will get heated and it can get damage in some of the parts. So what we have to do, after making it run for 2, 3 or 4 hours, we have to make it off to make it rest for some time, so we can again operate it or use it without any damages in that. Or if we talk about vehicles also, if they run for a number of kilometers like 50, 100 or 200, after that they need a rest. The machine parts need rest, because due to friction the parts get heated, and if we do not cool them down, it may cause damage to the machinery or the vehicles, whatever we are using. Next we will talk about the transfer of charge, and here is an activity. What does this activity states? The aluminium foil strips receive the same charge from the charge refill through the paper clip. Remember that metals are good conductors of electricity, whereas non-metals, these are not good conductors of electricity. The strips carrying similar charges repel each other, but the opposite charges, they will attract each other. The strips carrying similar charges repel each other and they become wide open. Such a device can be used to test whether an object is carrying a charge or not. This is known as, this device is known as electroscope. What is this device? The device which is used for finding out the object or the body that is charged or not, that device is so called electroscope. Thus we find that electrical charge can be transferred from a charged body to another through a metal conductor, because metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. Touch the end of the paper clip gently with the hand and you will find a change in the foil strips. They come back to their original state. Repeat charging of foil strips and touching the paper clip. Every time you will find that the foil strips collapse as soon as you touch the paper clip with hand, because the charge from a charged body, it is transferred to the uncharged, to your hand. Why does it happen? The reason is that the foil strips lose charge to the earth through your body. We can say that foil strips are discharged. The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth is called earthing. What is earthing? The process of transferring of charge from a charged object to the earth, that is called earthing. Earthing is provided in buildings to protect us from electric shocks due to any leakage of electric current. Now the next from the chapter, that is what the natural phenomena, we are going to talk about the story of lightning. It is now possible to explain lightning in terms of charges produced by rubbing, and the charge which is produced, that is electrostatic charge, and it is static, and when it comes in motion the heat is generated. Okay, and the lightning which we see in the sky, that is of a very high voltage, so we should take some precautions or protect our buildings or ourselves, because very high voltage can kill human being, or you have seen when the lightning takes place on any trees or plants, they get fired up. So as you can see here, these are the positive and negative charges, and just now as I told you, the same charges they will repel, but the opposite charges they attract each other, and the charge so generated in the sky in between the clouds, that is what? Electrostatic charge, and that is a static form of energy. You learned in class 7 that during the development of a thunderstorm, the air currents move upward while the water droplets move downward. These vigorous movements cause separation of charges, that is the positive and the negative. By a process not yet completely understood, the positive charges collect near the upper edges of the clouds and the negative charges accumulate near the lower edges. There is an accumulation of positive charges near the ground also. When the magnitude of the accumulated charges become very large, the air, which is normally a poor conductor of electricity, is no longer able to resist their flow. The negative and positive charges meet, producing streaks of bright light and sound, so-called lightning. We see streaks as lightning, and this process is called an electric discharge. Means air that is providing a very less friction or a resisting force, and when this force gets higher, you can see a lightning or a spark in the sky, and this is caused because of the charges so present there, positive and negative charges. And what form of energy is present there? That is electrostatic form of energy. The process of electric discharge can occur between two or more clouds, or between clouds and the earth. Today we need not get frightened by lightning like our ancestors did, like our forefathers did. Now we understand the basic phenomenon. Scientists are trying hard to improve this understanding. However, lightning strike could destroy life and property. It is therefore necessary to take measures to protect ourselves. So what measures should be taken while it is lightning? Here are mentioned some. Lightning safety. During lightning and thunderstorm, no open place is safe. Hearing thunder is an alert to rush to a safer place, because as we know that the speed of sound is less than that of light, and if it is thundering, so we should rush towards our home or to any safe place, because there will be lightning first and you will hear thundering after that, because sound travels with a lesser speed than light. The speed of sound in air, that is 330 to 340 meter per second, and speed of light, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. After hearing the last thunder, wait for some time before coming out of the same place. After hearing the last thunder, wait for some time before coming out of the safe place. Finding a safe place. A house or a building is a safe place. If you are traveling by car or by bus, you are safe inside with windows and doors of the vehicle shut. What you should do and what you should not do. That is, do's and don'ts during a thunderstorm. Suppose if you are outside, open vehicles like motorbikes, tractors, construction machinery, open cars are not safe. Open fields, tall trees, shelters in parks, elevated places do not protect us from lightning strokes. Carrying an umbrella is not at all a good idea during thunderstorm. If in a forest, take shelter under shorter trees. If no shelter is available and you are in an open field, stay far away from all the trees. Stay away from the poles or other metal objects. Do not lie on the ground. Instead, squat low on the ground as it is shown here in the image. Place your hands on your knees with your head between the hands. This position will make you the smallest target to be struck. And if you are inside the house, Lightning can strike telephone cords, electrical wires, and metal pipes. Do you remember? Lightning is an electrical discharge. During a thunderstorm, contact with these should be avoided. It is safer to use mobile phones and cordless phones. However, it is not wise to call up a person who is receiving your phone through a wired phone. Bathing should be avoided during thunderstorms to avoid contact with the running water. Electrical appliances like computers, TVs, etc. should be unplugged. Electrical lights can remain on. They do not cause any harm. What are lightning conductors? Lightning conductor is a device used to protect buildings from the effect of lightning. A metallic rod taller than the building is installed in the walls of the building during its construction. One end of the rod is kept out in the air and the other is buried deep in the ground. The rod provides easy route for the transfer of electric charge to the ground. The metal columns used during construction, electrical wires, and water pipes in the buildings also protect us to an extent, but do not touch them during a thunderstorm. At the top, as you can see, the lightning conductor is here. If any lightning takes place, so it can protect you from that. Next, we have to discuss about the natural phenomena, that is earthquake, and about this we will talk in our next class. Till then, everybody take care of yourself, study well, and have a very good day. Thank you.